Testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm going to be playing World of Tanks, obviously with the Lynx 6x6. This is one of my favorite tanks in the game, and I really enjoy playing it. I really enjoy it. I wish I could just play perhaps this in the EBR all day. But, you know, I only play like 1 or 2 games. I haven't played it in a long time, and when I do, I only play 1 or 2 games, and that's it. So I really don't master the tank. You know, I forget what I learned. If you want to master vehicles, you have to keep playing them over and over again. So let's say someone wanted to challenge me in a light tank. I would probably spend a week practicing just to remember and get a hang of all the different things all the skills that I know, because you will forget. If you watch my channel, you'll see a lot of SPG games. Haven't played SPG in a long time. You know, they're from earlier this year. They're in a series, and if I were to start up again, you know, I'd forget some of the SPG tactics, which really matters because it makes a big difference between getting a lot of damage and not. You know, with SPG, you can pick your targets easily. Same, you know, with a wheeled vehicle, it's a little bit different. You can pick your targets, but you got to think real fast. This is Corellia. This is an open field, which is going to be good. I really don't feel well today, so I'm not going to be playing with personal reserves. So this way I can ditch if I feel like quitting suddenly. So many years ago, I had no fear going across the map, but things are different now. Players are a lot better, and the wheeled vehicles have made people a lot more aggressive. So I don't know if I might not want to do what I would have done before. Got to find a new technique. I think I'm going to stay out of the water, head for the middle, and just go in a little bit and swing around real fast. There he is. Oh, you see, I screwed up. That's because I haven't played in a while. I did not. Oh, F you, man. See? I didn't turn my vehicle properly, so my vehicle came to a stop. Didn't get any spotting damage. That's one of the mistakes you make when you don't play the same vehicle every day. I thought that was an overturned vehicle right there, but obviously not. So one of the things I could have done differently is instead of scouting through the middle, just come up over here. Nobody scouts over here. So maybe that's what I'll do. I definitely recommend, if you play, stop scouting in the middle and do this upper level and then turn around and go back. I'll have to figure out the best route. I'll figure it out. It'll just take some time. I'll pull in the EBR. The other thing I try to do is similar vehicles I'll play back to back. So I'll play the EBR. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Oh, he doesn't have crew. Oh, there's got to be something wrong. Oh, tier 8. Okay. I got to find all the crew. The EBR. And the other thing is with that 6x6, I do not use 6 cents, so I don't know if I'm spotted. I'm going to pick up this one so I can help level it up. Oh, there's no radio operator, so I will play with this one. And then the AMX ELC. So we're going to level up the crew a little bit. I have a headache today. This is a good map for the EBR. And I'm a high-tier player. This vehicle is the EBR 75 FL10. This is a French Tier 8 light tank. The map is Ghost Town. Haven't played this tank in a while, although it is one of my favorite tanks. It does have a little bit of a learning curve. For example, there is a high-speed mode, and there is a mode for driving performance, and I only really know the high-speed mode. The other mode I never use. I might not have 6 cents on this tank, so that's why it's not saying that I'm spotted. Definitely not getting any spotting damage. So I'm going to have to... One of the things you want to do is zigzag a lot, take sharp turns, assume that you're spotted often. I don't know if jumps help. When you're firing, you want to keep the hull still. I'm just going to keep going in reverse for a bit. I did get rid of that tank. So I am driving in reverse right now. I really don't want to, but I mean, what can you do? You know, my team really didn't do a lot of damage. I mean, the last thing that happened was when I destroyed the E-25, and all those tanks. I guess we didn't have that many spotted. I don't know. But I'm coming up with ideas. I think next time, don't drive out in the open. Drive like along the wall so that fewer tanks can shoot at me. So that's what I will do next time I try, if I remember, and I might not remember. Sometimes I wish I had two accounts, one to practice with and one to to play for like stats or to play competitively, but I don't have that. So, oh, phone. My phone is calling for me. My laptop speakers died. I have no audio on my laptop. So I bought a Bluetooth speaker, but apparently they don't work with laptops. So I have to use it with a cell phone, and it usually works. So I have to keep the cell phone charged in order to listen to videos and stuff. I can't watch videos anymore, just listen. And because we're in a lockdown here in the Philippines, you can't just go buy whatever you want. You can't order through the mail. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try ordering through the mail. And I know you have no idea what I'm talking about. This is Lynx 6x6. This is a French Tier 8 light tank. The map is Mines. I was referring to the speakers on my laptop stopped working. Take a sharp turn. I don't have Sixth Sense, so I don't know if I got spotted. I'm going to guess I did. Oh, you know what? I lost my commander. That's it. So that means I have to do close combat. I can't rely on spotting. I don't have the first aid kit. One of the issues with the first aid kit is if you don't run it, if you do run it, your crew won't get injured because it gives additional protection. But if you don't run it, you'll lose your commander because you get less first aid kit protection. And you won't be able to repair him. It's just a horrible thing. And I lost my gunner too. Turk 182. So I can't spot those guys. Need my allies to spot them. It's horrible. Not going to get spotting damage this game. Yeah. That sucks. Yeah, so guess what happens? You're going to go and you're going to put the health kit in, and then your crew never dies. It's just a horrible thing that you have to deal with these tanks. Rosk. Yeah, that's what I clicked on. I swear to God, I clicked on the Brosk. How did it load up that menu? Brosk is a nice tank. I like it. This, to me, is one of the better medium tanks, and I judge it based on how fun it is to play, not based on some sort of a spec on paper. Because there's always one tank that has high penetration and great armor. Russian tanks are definitely overpowered. They claim that it's based on historical accuracy, and if that were true at one time, it's definitely not true now. Yeah, so one thing you're going to notice, it is a bit smaller than other tanks, and it's not a super high speed. It's kind of like a well-rounded tank. It doesn't really excel at anything. Got beautiful antennas. This is the Burask. This is a French Tier 8 medium tank. Map is Steppes. So I'm going to spot. I'm going to go to the middle. My allies are not going to shoot at anything I spot. And then I am going to go and retreat, and maybe I'll go to the east side. Enemy doesn't have any light tanks. So they're probably not going to have a spotter go out. See, my team did not fire at those tanks, which I spotted on their radar. And I got no damage. There's no SPG, so I'm just going to duck down, cross my fingers. Only 364 spotting damage. Make them think that I've left, and then turn around and come back. .800 second ping time. Could have spotted. Yeah. So when you take a lot of damage, you're going to have to play more conservative. You can't rush out. You might have to sit back and snipe. I'm going to give it one more shot. I know it's not going to make a difference, but there's an issue with packet loss. If you see the tank jumping around a little bit, that's what's going on. F this. That's it. Don't know how I got spotted. A couple of lousy games. It is, you know what? It's raining because it's typhoon season. So when it rains, the internet performance definitely goes down. He doesn't have Sixth Sense. No, he doesn't have Sixth Sense. Huh. The reason why he doesn't have Sixth Sense is because I play it in Frontline, and I have very little experience playing it in random battles. It's mostly Frontline. You can hear the rain outside. Typhoon Delta. It's funny because the tsunamis have killed a lot of people. It's a big deal. I met a lot of people who told me that their parents died in the tsunamis. No, I'm sorry, I didn't meet them. I just chatted with them. So this is not a good map for wheeled vehicles. I'm sure you know that. Or at least not for the way I like to play for open field. Notice I got the soccer camo. This is the EBR 75 FL10. This is a French Tier 8 light tank. The map is Paris. I'm a high-risk player, and I know it's not good for your stats, but, I just play for fun. So I'm going to run out through here, see if I find anything. Didn't see... Oh, I guess I did. See if my allies will do any damage. And then I'll try to use the slope on my way out to block the shots. See what a great driver I am. And then use that object there to block them. I think it's worth it to go for another run. too late to fire. One thing I learned about Frontline is there's got to be a lot of people using cheat mods because their accuracy was just too good. They were just constantly hitting me. That's 6. I'm going to get out of here. Unfortunately, my allies are not able to help much. Just testing the turn, the handbrake turn to see how it works. T-54 is going in, so I will go in too. We will be best friends. Just a miss. Did you die? I don't know. Yes, you did. Oh, you don't want to go this way. $11-2. Yeah, so I could have gotten a little bit more damage, but I'm only going to get so much more damage and so much more spotting damage because the score is 11-2. So it's not a complete disaster that I'm out of the game. Would have been nice if I were still in. Maybe I would have gotten a couple hundred more. That killing machine. Look at that. The Black Prince is not a great tank. When you compare it to the vehicle that comes before it, you see how the Black Prince comes across as being underpowered. That's my recollection. Maybe it's different now, but I believe that's the way it was before. Like when you go from one tank to another, sometimes the tank before is really good, so the tank after isn't so good. Hopefully I got more spotting damage. It is a possibility that the spotting damage is going to be up there. Then I'm going to take a quick break because of all the liquids I ingested. $15.50 spot. 900 and 1500. That's pretty good for Paris. Okay, so I just need a very short break. 30 seconds. We have a 3 times weekend, so I really want to take advantage of it. Got to check to see if he's got 6 cents. Yes, he does. Yeah, so where I live, the food is not that great from the local restaurants. It's a lot of stuff like hot dogs and weird foods. I don't even know what it's called. And the portions are very small. So once in a while, I will get something from. There's really no super awesome restaurant. I don't know what, like, let's say TGI Fridays or Friendlies or Outback Steakhouse. You don't have stuff like that over here. There's an Indian restaurant. The portions are very small. You're going to get very little. And then there's a lot of noodle houses. Noodles are big in Asia. So I don't have a lot of choice. You know, there's rice everywhere, but I don't. Rice is not my food of choice. Hot dogs are pretty common, and shish kebab, barbecue. This is the ELC Even 90. This is a French Tier 8 light tank. The map is airfield. This tank really doesn't work on many maps. This is one of the maps it really doesn't work on. And it's just cross your fingers. I mean, there's a spot you can go to and spot from, and you might not spot anything. Or you'll spot things, but you might not get any damage. So it's hard to be useful on this map. This excels at hiding and spotting, not so much with firing the gun. He's going to that spot, which means it's going to be crowded for both of us to be there, so I'm going to go to the next spot. There's actually a bush you can go to, which is right there. I just drove by it right there. Oh, man. Come on, come on. Yeah, so that's the issue you got to deal with. Only got 458 spotting. It's not that much. And so what are you going to do? You know, the enemy's not going to come out, and if they do, you won't be able to penetrate them. And if you're close to anybody, they're just going to destroy you. Oh, I don't have the binocs. Come on, get in the bush. I'm going to hit X on the hull. I don't know if this bush is really amazing. I have no idea. Game just locked up. But we'll give it a shot. You know, I'll be able to spot them. But, you know, my allies are going to have to damage them, and I'm going to have to get the spotting damage, right? You see there's a guy right over here, right? No, he's through the terrain. Did not get spotting damage because he's self-spotting. Those guys are all going to self-spot. The only one I would get spotting damage for is SPG, and they're not in the game. So right now, there's little I can do. When I fire, I'm going to reverse more. Every little bit counts. He could spot me, so I got to watch out for that effort. At the time, I was spotted. See how hard it is to drive? Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be, you're not going to get like 6,000 spotting damage on this map. I think they're going to finish him off. So I'm going to go find the other tank. I think I found him. Or if that's him. Obviously, he could kill me, but I could also get a ton of spotting damage. And he missed. Okay, I'm not going to get any spotting damage. I will ram him. I actually thought about parking behind the airplane. $1,300 damage. Okay, so someone is asking a question about living overseas. Philippines definitely is one of the best countries to live in if you want to live overseas, and it has to do with the visa. Okay, so I'm going to be playing the Lynx 6x6. It's a French Tier 8 light tank. I'm going to talk a little bit about living overseas. I've been living overseas for like 12 years, self-employed, working over the internet. And you can't live in any country you want to. You have to, in general, you can live in the United States if you're American. In general, you can live in the country you're a national of, and that's it. I thought about becoming an Italian citizen because my parents are Italian. I have to go to Italy for 3 months, do the paperwork, and then I think you can live anywhere in Europe. But in general, like if you're American, you can live in Canada for 6 months, or Mexico, or Peru, or the UK, or Australia for 6 months, but then you have to leave. You cannot stay beyond your 6 months, or you have to do the fines and the prison and the court cases and all that. They probably wouldn't let you leave. You know, they'll check your passport when you try to leave. So the Philippines is different. Over here, you can stay for as much as 3 years as long as you keep applying for an extension, and the extensions are 6 months. Uh, India has a 10-year visa, but you have to leave like once a year, so you might not want to do that, and you might not qualify for the 10-year visa. So I recommend Philippines high up on the list. Internet to the U.S., you're going to have the ping time, but the internet works. It's not super high speed like other parts of the world. Most people speak English here. They're pretty good at the English. Um, it's relatively cheap. I pay like $14 a day for hotel. I could get it cheaper. Is it 14 a day? I think it's 14 a day. Yeah, I pay 14 a day. I could get it cheaper if I wanted to. Oh, I screwed it up. I took my finger off the accelerator improperly. And the food is cheap. A meal I could easily spend $2. The meal's not going to be amazing unless you really love rice. They're not bread people. They don't eat a lot of bread. And I had a free ticket to get here, so I didn't pay anything for the flight. Or maybe I did. I don't remember. I must have. You know what? I paid for the flight. It cost me like $900. And I came to Cebu because it was the cheapest flight. That's the only reason why I came here. So what I was doing was scouting out. I got 2,500, now 2,900 spot damage. But because I'm low on hit points, I got to be a little bit more careful. And I might not have Sixth Sense. You see, what I did was I didn't go out very far, so then you come in for another run. And this time I'm going to go a little bit further. And then I'll go in for another run. I don't know if I was spotted again. There are SPGs in the game. I saw he was aiming at me. 3,200 spot, 3,500 spot damage. It's pretty good. Yeah, so that's like, to me, that's a typical game when I'm playing normally and not being too stupid. 3,500 spot might end up being more. Yeah, the Philippines is the only country in the world where, as a foreigner, you can just, move here and stay here for 3 years. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about how I make money. Um, I make money through affiliate programs, through online advertising, selling digital media, um, audio, video, photos. At one time, I sold ebooks um, and advertising, web development. I develop websites and try to get advertisers on the websites. And I actually did really good. I can tell you, it worked out really well for me. But business goes up and down. Sometimes business is really good and sometimes it's really low. And originally, I had a seasonal business. And what would happen is you'd make a lot of money for 1 month, and then the rest of the year you wouldn't make anything. And like, let's say you only make money in August. Once July comes around, you really don't have any money because you have to budget it as best you can, and then you have no idea how much money you're going to make in August. So I really didn't like that. So I tried to get into other businesses that brought money in consistent every month, and the photo, video, audio stuff is more consistent. And the good thing is, I work on the computer. I can work from anywhere. Uh, if you do something like photography, it takes a long time to make money. It's not like I take a photo and then I sell it for $1,000. It doesn't work that way. A typical day, a good day, I'll make $3,000 for 1 day of work, which is only 3 hours of work. But it will take me like 10 years to collect all that money. Um, and they're always trying to pay you less money. The amount of money you make from your work, they're never going to say, oh, yeah, we're going to pay you more money now. That never happens. It's always, yeah, we're paying you less money now. Quick reflex. Oh, what the hell was that? Got to zigzag a little bit. Oh, come on. I got ripped so bad. Yeah, he's got a long reload as far as I know. So, oh, come on. When I play Frontline, I equip this for gun stability. But when I play random battles, it's got to be for spotting. So it's not going to have the gun stability. However, in general, this has one of the best guns in the game, video game. You got to be careful. YouTube might ban me. Just said a word. Word police. GUN. I don't have any help over here, so it doesn't matter if I spot that EBR. There's no SPG. Be one less Scorpion in the game. Come on, why is it missing? Is he gone? No way somebody took him out. They got me. Oh, and look that all of my allies are gone over here. I thought we had a lot. Maybe, I don't know. You know what? I may have done something stupid and went up there thinking that I had lots of allies. I remember seeing lots of red dots, but maybe I didn't have any allies there. I'm the only one out of the game. I thought that, oh, yeah, they're going to be distracted. I'm going to get behind them. There you go. Didn't watch the map. That's what you get. So, someone asked me on the live stream about affiliate, how I make money. And I'm going to tell you many years ago, because I started using the internet in the 80s, 1980s. So I've been doing this. I was using the web in 94. I've seen everything before everybody. It used to be really easy to make money, but now it's a lot harder because now there's so much competition. So back then, if you had a reasonably good website, people would come, but now you can make the most amazing website. Nobody will ever visit your site. And I've got some really good websites. Nobody ever uses them. Like I can't say the words because YouTube will ban me. Okay, election news. I have an election website. It's just political news is all. And it's not like it's from the mainstream media. It's not like it's fake news or something. YouTube doesn't like political news unless it comes from a major news source. It coming from me, they penalize it. So it's a great site. It's got all the news. You could look up any candidate and see all their public appearances. And with a popular candidate, maybe it doesn't matter. But with the smaller candidates, like somebody like Andrew Yang, you can go watch every interview he ever did in one place. You won't miss anything. But, nobody's going to come to my website. So then you end up making many websites, and then you've got many websites that nobody goes to. And you just hope that one of them becomes popular. I do have a website that is popular, that makes money. I want to jump over that. That's what I want to do. You can go and you can jump over. There's a way, nobody ever does it except for me. But you can jump over the other side of that hill and scare everybody. I do it in some games. All the cheating, T-28 prototype. Yeah! You don't want to drive like this away from him because it's easier for him to hit you. Yeah! I could go for that Lorraine 40T, but he could also nail me hard. Nobody's going to shoot at anything that I spot. So I'm leaving. We've wasted enough time over here. As they say in France, arrivederci, very common French phrase. Au bon pain is another common French phrase. Yeah, good that my team took up positioning over there. This is good for hit and run because you can fire at somebody. You can go, zip, 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 shoot at him and then jump over the hill, and then you're gone. And you disappear like magic. Okay, I really got to get the hang of this because that was lousy driving. See, I got all those fire extinguishers. Look how good they are. $570 fire damage. Oh, I didn't even touch him. See how good I am at driving? I did have, I lagged out a little bit. I just wanted to see if I could spot anything over there. Spasmo. Okay, let's see if we can take this guy out. Nope. Impossible. He's got that special cheat armor. Oh, come on. It hit the ground. Give me a break. That was a kill shot. Ooh, you missed. Oh, come on. It lost the auto aim. You did 5 damage to me, you a-hole. Oh. Hardly any spotting damage. You see, he set me on fire using, you see how it's gold? That means he fired a gold round. Regular rounds are gray. And he set me on fire because he's firing gold rounds. And if you see in somebody's accounts that he set a lot of tanks on fire, it's because they're firing lots of gold rounds. So I'll tell you a little bit more about making money. In general, any company you do business with, they'll try to pay you less every year. They try to increase their profits by cutting how much they pay you. And because a lot of people are individuals, they're like, you don't need to make $1 million a year. You'll be happy with 100,000. So they will cut your money as much as they can, and you'll just have to deal with it. I do want to check a previous game. It must have been Westfield. That was 3,700. Got to record the number. It was actually only 200 more. But that'll go on the main channel. The rest of them, this one that you're watching, won't. I'm just going to check to see if I have 6 cents. I do not. You know what? I'm going to pull in someone with 6 cents. Look at that. 7 skills on this crew member. 6 plus 1. Maybe I'll pull in this. See how much additional spotting it does. 8. Nothing about the wheels. I could do this. I could do that. Oh, if it doesn't have 6 cents, you just add this thing right here. You want to use the one where you drive forward, not the one with the turret spinning around. So that's what I'm going to do. How do you apply? Oh, I guess I can't because it's already there. See how smart I am? I'm reading something in the news. Okay, so this is going to be the EBR 75 FL10 on Siegfried Line. It might be okay. It is a town map, so it's not going to be perfect. But someone asked about how I make money. I'm going to tell you an example. I just made a website. It's news.cheapbooks.com. It's a news aggregator website. So it pulls in news stories from CNN and MSNBC, etc. And it puts like the top stories of the day, and there's tags so that you can pick a category like sports. Shows you all the sports news. Now, it doesn't pick up everything because it doesn't know if something is news or not. So if it has like too few words, it might skip it, right? But the problem is when you launch a site and it's fun and it's good and it works, you're not going to make any money. Nobody's going to use the site. You have to get loyal followers. And the reason why I made it is because I'm not happy with the other news sites out there. So I thought, oh, I'll just make a new one. Oh, he's on it. And I said, I'll make a new site that I like. And if I like it, other people like it. The problem with the sites that other people do is they don't make it because they like using it. They make it because they try to get money out of it. And there's a famous site, which I don't want to say because I might get banned from the Thought Police. But there's a popular site that people aren't using anymore. It lost a lot of popularity because they're no longer providing for their customer base. You know, they're just doing whatever they can to make money. When you click on a news link, it pulls up an ad instead of going to the news link. You know, that sort of thing. It's a little shady, slim shady. So I'm trying to, you know, I make my site. I try to make it easy to use and informative. And there's some bugs. You know, I had to fix the bugs. Took a little bit of time. And I'm not 100% happy. You know, I look at the news stories, news.cheapbooks.com, and sometimes I actually learn something like, wow, that happened today. But then there's other times when I say I could care less about this particular story, like maybe something sports related, because I don't care about sports news or about humanity. Anything about humanity, I don't care. It's pretty cool how it's like the dragon's teeth are blocking my shot. So up to 1,000 damage, 600 spot. So I make the website, and there's one ad all the way at the bottom that no one's ever going to click on. Because it's all the way at the bottom. And if nobody clicks on it, you don't make any money. But I have to put it at the bottom because I don't want to scare away potential customers. I want them to see the news. If I ever become very popular and people love the site, I will put the ad in a better place and make more money. But, you know, people are not using the site. I'm trying to push it, and it could take years. It could take 10 years before it makes enough money to pay for food for the month. In fact, the money that I make now is from work that I did, in some cases, 10 years ago. I'll tell you the story. Some of you may know that I used to film TV commercials. They're in my account. If you look on my YouTube account, some of the first videos are TV commercials. And in order to make TV commercials, sometimes you have to buy footage from somebody else. Like if I needed a video of a book, you know, just buy someone else's video. But what happened is I started thinking, you know, I got all this video that I filmed. Maybe I could make some money by selling my video. And that's what I did. Made him explode. Proximity explosion. I think the crew has to survive to get the EXP, so I think I have to survive. You know what? I don't even know how it works. Maybe if you crash, some of your crew might get injured. So I don't want to risk it. I'm not going to risk it. Because I want the crew EXP. That's why I'm playing the game. So I got this news site, and it might take years before it makes money, However, it's also a very good site, so I think it might grow quickly. 1,700 damage, 1,800 spot. Do need to check disk space because I am running low. Not in the United States, so I don't have easy, I got 10 gigabytes. Don't have easy access to everything that I need when I need it. Yeah, I mean, if I played this all day, I would have good games. Let's check the gun marks. 62, that's not good. 57. Oh, I could gun mark this. Maybe we'll do it today. I'll need like 5 good games. Okay, I'm going to be playing the Lynx 6x6, which is a French Tier 8 wheeled vehicle light tank. Someone asked me in the live chat about how I make money, and I do web development. I was talking about my news aggregator website, and I have actually lots of news aggregator websites. I've got like 40 or 50 of them, and they all have different topics like outer space. There's a stand-up comedy one. And like if you have a favorite stand-up comedian like Bill Burr, on my website, it has every appearance he'll ever make on YouTube. So it's standup-comedy.org is the name of the site. And it has a small following. On weekends, people go there. But it really doesn't bring in any money. But then again, it doesn't cost me anything to run it. Maybe over the course of 10 years, maybe it'll make some money. I used to have Macintosh websites that made money. But I got rid of them all. I sold them all because they weren't making enough money. But if I had kept them, we're talking about 20 years ago, if I had kept them, I had no idea that Mac would still be in business. You know, if I had kept them, maybe I would have made a lot more money. Some of the computer companies that I did went out of business. Lynx 6x6. For this, you want to make sure you go to the left, definitely. I use the gun to point in the direction that I'm heading on the mini-map so I can gauge which direction I need to head in. And you know what? It doesn't matter if you spot anything because your allies aren't going to fire at you. If you go too steep, you're not going to have traction. I don't have Sixth Sense on this, I don't think. There are 2 SPGs. What good is it to spot anything? My team is not going to shoot at anything I spot. When I drive, I make a lot of sharp turns. And I know you don't notice it, but sometimes you notice it. Like right here, I'll do a sharp turn. That was actually a sharp turn. This is a wide turn. And then you do a sharp turn like this. You see what I mean? A little bit of a smaller turn. And it can trick the enemy. It'll completely confuse them. They'll have no idea, and they'll be confused the entire game. That was a sharp turn right there. But you will lose some speed. But you might also be unpredictable to the enemy. I also equipped the vehicle to repair the wheels as quickly as possible. Needed an accurate shot, so I had to prevent the hull from rotating. Want to get him out. Sharp turn. Another sharp turn. Another sharp turn. I'd like to try the other driving mode. When I first got the tank, I didn't know how to switch between the modes. I knew it had two modes, but I didn't really know how they worked. So I was always driving in the one where it turns sharply, the sharp turn mode they call it, I think. And when I figured out the high speed mode, I was like, man, I want to go fast. Missed that T30. One of the issues with this vehicle is that you'll line up the shot, but your gun won't come around. So that's a big deal. Anything you can do to get that gun turning faster is going to help. And I'm driving away in a direction that I think will make it difficult for him to hit me because it was an object that eventually would have blocked his shot. That driving I did. I'm amazing. Amazing! I'm sure you know who I got that from. I think the smart thing to do is to just drive up and down on the hills. Come up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down, and occasionally shoot at somebody. Yeah, see, look at that. I damaged that turtle's track. I don't know, maybe I damaged his visor. But it's going to make them afraid to advance because they know they're going to get spotted. They don't like it when there's a scout going around because their worst nightmare is to be spotted. They got to cross that open field. They're not afraid of my gun. The EBR hit me, but he's also auto-aiming me, more than likely. Definitely want to do a lot of ups and downs. I'm going to move away from them, try to increase my distance. Yeah, screwed that up. I could see that was about to happen. I thought, yeah, it looks like he's pointing at me. Got to be careful. I don't want to say pointing his at me because, you get banned. You banned. Oh, Merry Christmas. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Oh, he's capping. I do like playing the T49 with, you see how it's got that little short gun? You get right behind somebody and blast them in the butt. I also enjoy blasting players in the butt. It's one of my favorite things to do whenever I can. I try to do it once a day. I'm going to get banned from YouTube. Fart knocking. Okay, so, these maps can be difficult for scouting. You're never going to get a lot of spotting damage on Minsk because the tanks stay in the buildings. It's close combat. 1,300 spot. Okay, so I'm going to talk about gold ammo. I just typed something in the chat. it says 30% more damage with gold. That actually is not accurate. That is the low pen gun for the tier versus the high pen gun for the tier. I did 30% more damage. That's without gold. If I had done gold, maybe I would have done more. But it was, it was such a high pen gun. Like 270 for tier 8 is really good. This is a Lynx 6x6. This is a French tier 8 light tank. The map is Pearl River. So you probably hear people talk about how if you want to be a better player, press the 2 key. It's true. I did an experiment where I compared like the worst tanks in the game versus the best tanks in the game. It's called low pen, no gold. And I got the worst tier 8 tanks with no gold, and I didn't play any autoloaders or wheeled vehicles or any overpowered tanks like the Defender. I just played the ones with the lowest penetration with no gold. And I had really good games. And then I did the high penetration tanks. And I compared the two, and I did 30% more damage with the high penetration tanks. And I played probably 10 games with each. And it's called the low pen no gold is the name of the videos that I'm referring to with the low penetration. So in tier 8, the highest you can do is like 288, and the lowest is like 170, and the average is like 220. So I was playing with 185, 175 penetration, and I was having good games. But when I pulled out 270 penetration, I was the top player on the team all the time. Did way more damage, and it was easy. You just point and click. So there's a guy who's a well-known player. He's in the forums. He's got a high ranking, and in ranked battles, I beat him. He was ranked around 1,030, and I was ranked around 1,000. So I beat him in ranked battles. And he's well known. Everybody knows him on the NA server. And see, I can't give away too many details, but I watched one of his replays. And when he was up against a tank that had strong armor, he just loaded gold rounds, and that's it. And I was like, you think you're a better player than me? When I'm in that situation, I maneuver to get behind that enemy tank and shoot him in the rear. And what you do is you just load gold ammo and fire at him in the front. He didn't even move. And I'm like, you're not a better player than me. You're not a better player than me. All of mine, I fire gold rounds like 1 every 1,000 games. Although I've been doing it lately because in order to get the gun marks, you just have to fire gold more often. Because I'm competing against all these gold spammers. Pull out the EBR. My last game, like 2 games ago, I did really well. I had a game with 3,500 spot damage. So the gold is an issue, and there's a way to solve it. With the second and the third, you can get the crew books. So I'm going to re-roll the second, because I'll take the cash. Now I re-roll everything to try and get crew books. So, the gold rounds in World of Tank Blitz, I believe they do less damage. And they are obviously more expensive. They can be considerably more expensive. But I made the point you should get less EXP for firing gold rounds. I mean, it's not fair that people are getting marks of excellence because they decided to fire gold rounds. That's not an example of excellence. And same with the WN8. They're all firing gold rounds. If they don't, they're not going to make it because they have to compete against everyone else who's doing it. And I've been playing for 7 years, and last year, some players went ballistic on me because I pointed this out. and they harassed me. They still harass me over it. And I had to literally write a letter to Wargaming headquarters, and then they added the anonymizer right after that, complaining about the crazy behavior of people who are stat padding. And I'm not talking about the fact that they're doing it, but the way they harass other players. I knew, like, the second week I played World of Tanks, what stat padding was. I'm talking about 2013, because I joined a clan and he explained to me. He said, WN8, oh yeah, you pad it. This is how you do it. And it doesn't take an hour to learn how to stat pad. You know, in a minute, yeah, driving. In a minute, someone can explain to you how to stat pad. And a lot, you know, it's high penetration guns, gold rounds, overpowered tanks. And when you play Frontline, that's what they're all doing. And same with ranked battles. But in Frontline, like, if you look at my Frontline videos, you'll see me get General, right? And I'll point out, look, I got General, and the tank I'm playing is one of the worst tanks in the game. And everybody else is playing overpowered tanks, and they're firing gold rounds. And they're using stupid strategies. They're just using boring strategies like, you know, go over here, hide behind this building, be safe. It's not skill-based gameplay. And there's another, you know, I said the word skill. There's a player who has gun marks on his tanks. And you can stat pad WN8, you can stat pad mastery badges, you can stat pad gun marks. There's tricks to doing all of it. Because I'm doing gun marks, I'm playing differently to enhance my stats for gun marks. And one of the things you can do, for example, the day the tank comes out, you play it 100 times, you get 3 gun marks. It's easy. It doesn't take skill. And when you're playing the game, there's a lot of people that have 2 accounts, and they use one account competitively, and they use another account to learn how to play. But I got to learn how to play on one account, on the same account, so it hurts your stats, because you know, I have fun with this account. I'm going to show you an example of what having fun is in a moment. But an Unicum would never do that. An Unicum would keep the 2 separate. And I can tell, you know, I can look at somebody's stats, and you see suspicious behavior in their stats. And I'm not saying that that means that they're cheating. I'm just saying, why does your stats show that you only play one tank, and it's tier 6, and you're supposed to be one of the best players in the game? Why are you playing so many tier 6 tanks? And they do it to stat pad, you know, and they're always playing the best tank, like a Cromwell or a Defender. That's why they're popular. You know, the Scorpion G is popular for a reason. It's popular because it's a really good tank. It's got really good penetration. Not the highest. That would have been nice. I'm going to get out of here. So now I have to drive in reverse to get out of here, so I can keep the gas going. Because I could die at any moment. I watch other people play, and I notice that there's so many ways that people inflate their stats that you could see in their replays. Like, you'll notice I was always somewhat near the enemy. And there's a lot of good players will never go near the enemy. They'll always be in the back. They'll say that they are, but they'll always be far away. And they let their allies get shot at. And, like, I could do that too. But that's not challenging, and it's not fun. These wheeled vehicles, I believe they saved the game for me. If it weren't for the wheeled vehicles, I would get super bored with the game. Yeah, so regarding the gold rounds, I have never been somebody who played them, and I don't complain about them that much. But I am going to start playing with them because eventually around Christmas time, I might have 50 million silver. And why not fire gold rounds if you got 50 million silver? You see, like my free EXP is 48,000. That's because I have nothing to spend it on. I think I have one more module I need to buy for a tank that's around this amount of money. And then after that, I have nothing to spend it on until a new tech tree comes out. So every time I play a new tech tree, I level up all the modules immediately. The Italian tanks, when they come out, I will always play them with the best equipment. And it will make it easy to get the gun marks. It'll be very easy. In fact, I'm going to get them right away. I'm going to see if I can 3-mark it the day it comes out. And I've got so many of the blueprints, I can get any tank I want. And I'm going to show everybody how easy it is. I'm sure I'll get 2 gun marks. I'm sure I'll get 3. I'm confident. Because nobody plays it the day it comes out. So the requirements to get the gun mark is really low. Isn't this beautiful? You see what I did? I put the summer or the desert camo on the bottom, and I put the winter camo on the top. Isn't that cool? I'm a genius. We are assaulting. I prefer assault because there's a little bit more action, because there's less time. There's an incentive. I don't like to sit around. If I'm in a clan battle, it's different. In clan battles, I got to admit, I've been aggressive in clan battles too. But I play a lot more carefully in the clan battles, which I haven't played in like 7 years. And in ranked battles, I play a little different in ranked battles, not that much. Gotta spot whatever you can. Look how far away my allies are. They're never going to hit anything. Actually, somebody did. Someone hit it for 844. So I lost speed, and they destroyed me. You don't want to lose speed for any reason. But somehow I lost speed. I'm not sure how it happened. Maybe I'll try a game with the crazy drive mode. Okay, so I am going to give this one a shot. Okay, so this is the EBR 75 FL10. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try the other drive mode. I haven't played the other drive mode in a long time. It should go slower, but it should be more maneuverable, the maneuverable mode. It's going 60 miles an hour. You see how maneuverable it is? Wow, this thing is crazy. I don't know if I like it. They say it's supposed to be for playing in the city. Against an EBR, they're going to have auto aim, so it won't help in regards to the auto aim. But how tight that circle is. Okay, so I'm going to put it in the high speed mode. You definitely want to do whatever you can to stay fast and maneuver. It makes a huge difference. You can't always do what you want to do. See that? Missed a shot. I think I need to, obviously I have some good technique for evasive driving, but I really have a lot of work to do. Not too bad. Bye-bye. There is SPG. There he is. Bonjour. Au contraire, mon frère. When I was a kid, we had to sing in French. So I remember some French songs like Happy Birthday and Frère Jacques. I don't remember how to sing Happy Birthday. I could probably sing it in Italian. He got me. It was a pretty good game, actually. I did 1,800 damage and 1,200 spot. Yeah, so I really don't like the maneuverability mode, but I don't know. Maybe I could have pulled it off over there. I'm going to see if I can duel with someone, switch into the maneuverability mode, and then swing around and go in the other direction real fast. That would be interesting, because I could have done it there. He won't be able to swing his gun around fast enough. He won't be able to fire at me. I got to give that a shot. I haven't played this in such a long time, so many years ago. The mistake that I made that impacted my stats was that when I first started playing, I wanted to get to tier 10 so fast that I just played sloppy, just so I could level up. Sometimes I didn't even research all the modules, or you'd have the Top Gun and didn't really play a lot of games with the Top Gun. So you might wonder, I'm in Asia playing in the North America server. Sometimes I get up early, like 5 a.m. In fact, every day I get up at 5 a.m. And I'm here on the off-peak time. So a lot of times, like at 7 a.m., they reset the server. For me, that's 7 p.m., 12 hours off. So I could start playing at 5, get a bunch of the triples, and then an hour later, because 5 plus 1 equals 7, get triples again. Victory was because of me. You note that the enemy did not take up positions on the west side. Found out relatively quick, and luckily the team kept on advancing. That's why we clobbered them. Clobert, as they say in France. We must have rolled over. It must be past 7 o'clock. Somebody wants the platoon. $1,800 damage. I guess that platoon guy's gone. Could have been from an old game. I'm going to tell you a funny story about Erlenberg. There was a computer programmer who was living in New York, and he outsourced his work to somebody that lived in another country like India. So what was happening is he was being paid to work the job. He hired programmers in India to do all of his work, so he really didn't do anything, and he kept the money. And something happened. Maybe he was on vacation or something, and they read his emails, and they discovered what was going on. You know what? I might pull the vents off of this and put something that increases mobility. It says to turret traverse, vehicle traverse, which won't be for wheeled vehicles. Dispersion. You know, this could actually be good for the wheeled vehicles. Turret traverse or gun traverse. Vehicle traverse speed. Dispersion as well as turret rotation. I guess I can't get the turbo booster. Oh, this is interesting. 25% to repair speed. And the fuel and engine, which I get set on fire. Huh. To repair speed? I guess I repair pretty quick. There's no turbo boost. Maybe I'll drop the vents and get something like a vertical stabilizer. Or maybe I should drop the vents and get something to enhance spotting. The good thing about the radio is you disappear faster. You get like a little bit of a double bonus. And this one, obviously, you hide. Okay, so I'm going to show you something that's really interesting. This is my Lynx 6x6, and I'm going to build a configuration, and we're going to see what happens here. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put 2 into comparison. So I'm going to do add to comparison, and then add to comparison. And the first one has vents, right? And we're going to look at concealment. We're going to take the vents off right here, and we're going to put the muffler. which is here, the exhaust system. Now let's see how it changes concealment. It improved it. I had a vehicle where it didn't change. The vents impacted the cruise skills enough that there was no change. You know what? This vehicle doesn't have the proper crew. Maybe that's the reason. No, it does have the proper crew, yeah. So that's something you want to watch out for, except not here ever. 58.29, let's play this. So one of the things that happens when I play, which I talk about often, is that when there's a lot of people on the server, I have really good games. And when right now there's very few people on the server, only 5,000, going to have horrible games. Because people don't play in the predictable positions. So my sniping positions don't work, the scouting techniques don't work, SPG positions don't work. And there's fewer people, they lemming, they bunch up. But if you go spot them, your allies won't shoot at them. So when there's fewer people on the server, it's difficult. Steps is good for this tank. Got to figure out how to make this faster. I'm going to do some testing during this game. This is a Lynx 6x6. This is a French Tier 8 light tank. The map is steps. I'm going to be doing some testing during this game. I'm going to see what happens if I switch the drive modes while I'm playing at full speed. Like if I need to escape someone, I'm going to see if switching the drive mode will allow me to get behind him quickly. I know a few driving techniques that I don't get to do often enough. Like over here, you don't want to go up on the hill, right? I don't have Sixth Sense, so I don't know if I'm spotted or not. So I'm going to stay low. Don't do that. It's no good. There's a situation going on the east and on the west. So on the west, they haven't spotted anything. I'm going to see if I can help them. Wow, look what happened when I switched to drive mode. Came to a dead stop. I don't know. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I wonder, with the EBR, it wasn't doing it. I don't know. That's something I would do in frontline, definitely. He didn't even try to avoid me. That really bothers me. Because he could have avoided me. And he might not understand how difficult it is to turn a wheeled vehicle. You can't just spin it. Yeah, this is what I do in frontline. I was trying to get behind him, but I jumped over him. Not going to get the gun mark on that. A cute ending. Okay, so with this one, I'll see what happens when I change the drive mode while I am playing. Did I change the equipment? It has no vents. I'd like to see what it would be like if I removed the repair kit. Because I could probably remove one of the repair kits and have a decent game. You gotta. This is a vehicle you have to get the repair crew skills on it, because they can repair those wheels really fast. EBR 75 FL10. I want to get an online job, but the problem is because I live in the Philippines, the American companies pay more. But if I apply from here, they think I'm Filipino, so they won't let me apply for the job. And over here, they pay like $1 an hour. Okay, this is the EBR 75 FL10 French Tier 8 light tank. The map is Live Oaks. I'm going to be goofing around a little bit because I want to test out some capabilities of the vehicle. I want to see if I can figure out a way how to outmaneuver somebody by changing the drive mode. There's a way to do it. That wasn't it. But let's say somebody's chasing you and you want to get behind him. I have a video. I don't know if it's on YouTube or not, but I have a video where there's a guy chasing me, and I do like a maneuver and get behind him. And there's a couple ways to do it. And I know how to do it for tracked light tanks, but I got to learn how to do it for wheeled light tanks. And you notice that I'm making sure that I line up with the hill when I dive down. They're all over here, and my team's on the other side of the map. Shows you how smart they are. Again, same thing, using the hill so that I'm not out in the open. And I'll do it with the house over here. Yeah, you'll notice that a lot of times when I'm driving, I look behind me to see what's between me and the enemy. I don't want to make it easy for them. We're going to spot some of these a-holes over here. I saw that his gun was pointed away. Too bad for him. Go down and then we'll come up. He's out. Nice. $3,900 spot. Missed a shot on that T-34-2. See, he's increasing his distance from me. Because if he stays close to this mound, I'll destroy him. Oh, he got me. You want to be unpredictable. I made a mistake. When you're coming up, what you want to do is, I was going up that hill, right? You want to set that path going up that hill long enough in advance that he's going to aim for when you crest the hill, and then before you get over the hill, you turn, and that's it. So that he's aimed at the wrong spot. I could have done it there. I could have turned right before I got to the top of the hill, and then we would have magically won. Unfortunately, I only got 5,500 spot damage. So this is one of those games where we're going to watch it to the end, so I can brag, rub it in everybody's face. And that's probably not even my best game, but for spot damage, it's actually up there. Around 6,000 for me is one of the top games for spot damage. Although I deserve more. Way more. Yeah, like, the LT-15? This would have been close. This would have been under 8,000. It would have been like 7,500. I think you need 8,000 combined. I don't have a problem getting the LT-15, which is why I have the Object 260. I complete all those missions easily. $5,600 spot damage, 1,800 damage. And they only made me number one. They should have made me higher. That was 18 and 56. EBR 75 FL 10. That was a 5,600 spot and 1,800 damage. So one of the issues with getting a lot of damage, getting a lot of kills, getting a lot of spot, etc., it's the tank. Part of it is the player, but a big part of it is the tank. When you get into higher tiers, you're going to do more damage and do more spotting, and when you play with gold, you're going to get more kills. It's all about the tank you're playing. The tank has the biggest impact on who's a good player and who isn't. And I have some good tanks, but I don't play them. The wheeled vehicles are the only good tanks that I like to play. This is a map that, depending on what the team does, you might have a good game, you might not. But because there's only a few people on the server, I don't expect a good game. They're going to play stupid. I like that camo. No, I don't. I thought I liked it. I was wrong. Actually, it's not that bad. This is the Lynx 6x6. This is a French Tier 8 light tank. The map is Siegfried Line. So I just rush directly towards the enemy. I do not have Sixth Sense, so I don't know when they're going to spot me. I'm going to swerve. Wait until I'm reloaded before I go over. definitely going to do a lot of swerving over here. So I'm taking some damage. I'm not going to be aggressive right now. Those guys are out of my spot range, so I got to pull them back into my spot range. Can't take any more hits. I'm going to stop firing. So maybe they won't have me spotted as much. And I'm going to focus on driving. So because I'm focusing on driving, I'm not looking for targets. I'm going to drive a lot more accurately. Yeah, he cheated. Yeah, you know what? I was definitely more alive when I was focusing on driving. So I learned something really important. I'm going to pay more attention from now on the driving. I wish we had more wheeled vehicles. You know, there's a chance I just might. I've got the crew. I've never bought this tank. I could just get these vehicles and just keep playing them all day. Huh. And I'd love to get this 105 over here. Let's see what time it is. It's got to be like, oh, it's 5 o'clock. 5. Check the news. No news. Oh, it's Sunday. This is the EBR 75 FL10. This is a French Tier 8 light tank. The map is Minsk. This is a very difficult map for scouting and spotting. So the last game I was playing on Siegfried Line, one of the things that I did was I focused on just scouting. Normally, I'm doing everything. Normally, I'm scouting, spotting, looking for targets to shoot at. You know, it's a lot of work to play. And what I noticed is that when I was scanning for targets, my driving went down dramatically. So now I'm going to focus on driving more. Look how slow I got. Doesn't have a fuel consumable. I should add the fuel consumable. Yep, see that? Haven't gotten a lot of spotting damage. You never will, because your allies are just not set up to shoot at anything you spot. That's the way it's going to be. At the end of the game, depending on what happens, you might spot a bunch of tanks for your team, if you have any team left. See that? It's lag and latency. Two SPGs in the game. So I'm going to see if I can get those SPGs. Okay, so there's probably a path that you can follow. I'm going to quickly scan this mini-map to figure out like how to get there. I kind of see where I'm going to go. I'm going to go this way. I'm looking on that mini-map to figure out what's the safest way. Like, you've got an object over here to block them from shooting at you. Got hills over here, hills over here. But I didn't spot the SPG. Come on, pick up that speed. Come on. They got a lot of tanks over there. The zigzagging really isn't helping. And look at that. I did that run, spotted all those tanks, nobody shot them. You got a lot of rounds, so, I still have 46 rounds. Just keep firing. Okay, T-44. Let's see if we can get the T-44. Nope. Missed him. Charioteer I could potentially get. T-44 is out of the game. Man, I missed him. You missed too, didn't you? It's got the faster. I heard the noise that maybe the internet got disconnected. Oh no, it was my cell phone. Sure. That was awesome. I'm awesome. No idea if I can go this way. They found at least one of the SPGs. Well, I guess they found both. Oh, come on. Now I gotta go backwards. Yeah, I do that all the time. Oh, they capped and we won. Good job. Ah. 1600 damage. Plus I can put a spider on it. That was fun. Fifty-eight point two, 66.9. These, they seemed cool at first, but now I really don't care. Really don't like the presets. This is probably how the French originally intended for the vehicle to be painted, so we'll make it as accurate as possible. Because it's 5 o'clock, I'm running out of time to go out and buy food. I don't think I have the right food inventory. When I went out earlier, I didn't buy some stuff that I wanted. All I have is corn. Yeah, all the stores close at 8 because of the quarantine. So, and it's Sunday. No 24-hour or anything. So I've got like an hour or two to pick up some stuff. So I'll be live in the morning. This is also not a good map for wheeled vehicles. This is the Lynx 6x6. This is a French Tier 8 light tank. The map is Serene Coast. This map is kind of difficult for spotting. But, I'll give it a best shot. I used to dominate on the map, but now everybody knows all the tactics because, many years have gone by. When I first started playing, this map was not in the game. This is a map that was pulled from the game, and then they added the peninsula over here. And when I played, it had the peninsula, but people before me, no. They were peninsulas. 2 EBRs. They're EBR buddies. I don't want to deal with 2 EBRs, so I'm going to make the leap. Come on. Might as well just let them shoot me. They could be right there, so die. There is an SPG, so we got to watch out for that. Yeah, I mean, I spotted a bunch of tanks. Nobody shot at them. Little you can do. I mean, I could keep spotting them over and over. Gonna get out of here to make it hard for him to hit me. Well, that works. These are the Unicums over here. The gold rounds. Oh, I hit that Skoda good. Uh-oh, they're coming. They are coming. I don't want to take my hand off the keyboard, but normally I would alert my allies that the enemy has won the flank. I don't know if I hit... No, I didn't hit the Skoda. One to 6. So use your speed. Get behind these guys. They're faster than me. I did get 1100 spot and 700 damage. I was going to head straight for their SPG. Man, that was tough. But I learned a little bit driving around in those areas. Oh, maybe I will make a change here. I will put... well, let me swap them. Oh, okay, it did. Try the fuel consumable. Maybe I could put food instead. Okay, so this, it's not a total disaster. In the second half of the game, it's really good for wheeled vehicles. The first half, maybe not so much. This is the EBR 75 FL10. It's a French Tier 8 light tank. The map is Sand River. I am going to rush in the middle here somewhere to see what I can spot. It doesn't really help in terms of my stats. It's not going to give me damage or spotting assistance or anything, but it will let my allies know what's going on. Like, I could go over here on this ridge. I'm sure I can spot tons of tanks from up here, right? What do you think is going to happen if I do this? Wow. So my allies know that there's nobody going that way. They're all going this way, I bet. It could all be right behind here. Where the heck are they? Oh, you didn't like that, did you? I mean, you came by yourself, buddy. You get what you deserve. Lost my commander. This is a bad idea. Yeah, I'm just goofing around, obviously. Not getting spot damage. What would you do? Oh, did you pass me? Huh. F you, man. $59.01. Link 6x6. Okay, we got a game now. Siegfried Line. Well, this is tough. This is going to be the Link 6x6, a French Tier 8 light tank. The map is Siegfried Line. The problem with this particular game is that I can spot the enemy all I want, but my allies aren't going to shoot at them because of all the hills. And it is on the server, there's not a lot of people on the server, and when there's a low number of people on the server, people play very poorly. It's really sad. I'm really disappointed. So I could go either way. I usually prefer to play in the south because there's lots of hills for me to hide behind. In the north, it's easy to play. You just run along the ridge, come down, and run along the ridge, and come down, and just repeat. And I don't have Sixth Sense, so I don't know if I'm spotted. Wow, look at that performance hit I took. Almost brought me to a dead stop. I just checked the mini-map to see how many allies I have. I don't know if they're going to hit anything. Missed that one. So far, nothing. Really got to watch out for these trees. They're slowing me down too much. I don't want to jump in the wrong direction. I don't want to jump and then find out that the enemy's right there. That tree I knocked down. That one. No. You see, my team, they're not shooting at anything. And I realize that the enemy is not constantly being spotted, but there's got to be a target that, you have to get into position to shoot the target, and they're not doing that. They're just sitting back waiting. And it's me that's going to disappear. Yep, can only take one more shot. Okay, so I was just going to say, I'm just going to stay back. That's too bad. Maybe I'm being too close to them and they're afraid to advance. I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to come up with some new strategies. I read something today that I thought was very funny. They're talking about election polls, and they say if the polls are accurate, it says that Joe Biden's winning by like 15%. They say if it's so accurate, why is he campaigning in states where he's ahead by 15%? And I thought about that, and I said, that's a really good point. This is the EBR 75 FL10. It's a French Tier 8 light tank. The map is Mannerheim Line. So this is easy to scout. I don't have good view range, unfortunately. So I'm not going to get to see what I want to see. I'm going to go around just in case. What I normally do is get to the right as possible over here. We'll see if we can see anything. And I used to keep on going and go low, but now now I don't do that anymore. So I spotted a bunch of vehicles, and nobody's going to shoot at them. Now we'll try spotting in the north. I don't think he's going to shoot at anything. Wow, I got spotted. Yeah, so I've never played with that position. Like, I probably haven't been here in years. I didn't even know you could do that. That's how long it's been. It's not the only thing that's long. Yeah, I mean, they corridorize the maps, so it's all close combat. Spotting isn't going to help. I don't want to go that way right now because if you go that way, it's really hard to get out. So we'll try going this way again. Got spotted. Over here, it's easy to escape if you like pina colada. Yes, I do. It works here. Okay. I am going to go pay a visit to the SPG area. Our snipers, if they were here, they left, so I'm not going to spot that ridge. There could be someone waiting for me to come through here. So you have to be aware of that, because if they're waiting for you, they're going to pre-aim. Maybe he's the one that spotted me. Yeah, you can see that Rheinmetall came, I guess he came back. Maybe he knew I was coming. Oh, not good. Oh, F. Uh-oh. Hey, you know, that wasn't so bad. No damage, like a pro. I didn't know there was another light tank. I could just ram him and he's a goner. Man. Great driving. Is that just one wheel? No, two wheels out. I wonder if I can climb this. Yeah. I thought I had a chance. He turned. That does turn quickly. Maybe he knew I was coming. I don't know. Maybe he's got 7 cents. You know what? I wouldn't have gotten much more damage. I probably would have nailed him for 100 and 100. Let's say I got another 150. He has 1100. I would have been there pretty quick. Maybe I could have gotten another 300. But I'm going to have to suffer 2100. We'll wait and see how it works out after the Rheinmetall destroys this defender. I don't think the Rheinmetall has high penetration. I think it does more damage with lower penetration, but I'm not sure. I don't have it anymore. Bon Marché. No, he's Russian. He's a Russian state. Borscht. Правда. No spotting damage. Okay, well, it was a nice